Morning, everybody. It's 26th of March. We're Signal Centre talking ball. Joe Neighbour, Ian Coleman, Steve O'Hare. Morning, gents.
Morning all.
Good morning, all.
All still sane?
All tickety boo.
Yeah, still hanging on in there.
I
Yeah.
was just wondering about haircuts. You'll be all right, Joe, won't you? If we were locked up for 3 months, your missus is a hairdresser. I think Steve might survive. Might look like fucking grizzly bear by.
There's been a few pictures knocking around on Twitter of some selfie haircuts or getting the missus to do them. There's been some disasters from what I've seen.
It doesn't matter, I suppose, if you're locked down for sort of 3 or 4 weeks,
Well,
you have a bad haircut, you'll be all right.
Yeah, they're going to be queuing. They're going to be queuing up here for Mrs. Neighbour to get a haircut at the end.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Okay, so yesterday, anybody have any luck on anything?
Nope.
Anybody got anything to talk about specifically news-wise that they saw come out?
How do we do in the gun to head challenge?
Gun to head challenge yesterday.
Shocking.
We had one winner, and it
must
was
have been you, Steve, is it?
Steve O'Hare. 0.38R on oil. Ian and I were stopped out on dollar index and cable for 1 hour losses. So a little bit of a move down in the overall P&L. Nothing crazy. Still at 65.72% in 94 episodes. So
lovely.
Doing all right. So Steve, you won out yesterday. Have you got?
I'll have a little run through of the sort of like the commodities that I'm looking at, that I look at every day.
Yeah.
Obviously the oil, yeah, like you say, I've got this nice. I'm just about to draw another trend line in. So lucky you joined me. Here we go. Bring that out. Ascending triangle formation breaking. So you've had this impulsive move down, the sideways correction, bang, double top, remember. In fact, you could even say treble top. If we break this line here, I'd even treat it as maybe a treble top, although this rally higher didn't quite reach the 25.14 level. It wasn't far away. So this a break of the double top will be here. So oil looks a little bit toppy to me. So I'm going to go for that, but I'll just run through copper as well. See this, I mean, I've redrawn the trend line to include these 4 trend lines. They're obviously, the natural trend line would be this one here, but that'll be around the target. So I'm quite happy to include these, and maybe we get a break there, another leg lower. Gold, I'm looking at these sort of flag formations in gold and silver. Silver not so much, a little bit flatter. Well, quite like this one in gold. I'm looking to buy a break of gold today.
I think everybody else is as well, but they can't because the spreads are so fucked.
Yeah, the spreads are so
I can't
wide.
actually get a trade on my platform. It won't let me.
I think there's a couple I've seen which came down to about $3 or $4 yesterday. So that was a little bit more reasonable. But yeah, that's really, you're seeing $10 wide spreads. It's pretty impossible to
IG 6 at the moment.
Yeah, I think they did narrow to 3, depending on what time of day it is. I suppose you'll get sort of like futures kicking in and everything. So yeah, I still, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we do sort of like see a little bit of a dip lower, but I think gold is definitely the one to watch when this starts to sort of calm down a little bit. The volatility starts to drop, and then you're getting gold and dollar rallying at the same time sometimes. So it's not nice to watch.
No.
Or it's not obvious. So I'll put this trade on now instead of waffling on. 23. I'm going to take 23.50. I'm going to nick a tick there. 23.50. Where's my stop? Where's my stop? I'm going to put the stop on a trend line here. So
You've been writing a presentation about trend lines by any chance, have you?
Hey, you know it. Yeah, what's the risk reward on that one? No, that's not really enough risk reward, is it? Let's bring the stop to the moving average line, which is around 24.15. So 23.50. I'm going to put the stop at 24.50. How's that look? Why is it? It's a 2.
You did 15 a minute ago. 24.50. There's a stop. 24.15. Was that too tight?
Let's have a look at what that looks like. Yeah, like that. It's on the moving average.
So,
So hopefully be capped by that. 23.50. Target is 22, and the stop is 24.15.
Cool.
Stop sharing.
I am taking. Well, I'll just have a quick run through some of these indices, if that's all right with you, Ian.
Yeah.
So this is DAX. This is the hourly chart, and I've been talking about this inverse head and shoulders bottom pattern, which seems to have worked out quite nicely. Think we could be in the process of having a pullback to test the neckline of that head and shoulders, at which point I'll be looking to potentially buy it again, providing I get the right signals. Looking at the FTSE 100, not as clear in terms of a bottom pattern, a breakout of a channel here, so potentially a pullback to retest the downward trending support. Where you can see these buy setups is where our intraday levels are set. CAC, not so bullish on this one. This seems to be bashing into some levels of resistance here. So quite a few levels. So I am trying to sell that as well, just a little bit higher. So very mixed really in European indices. We also look at the South African 40 a little bit, a nice inverse head and shoulders there. No pullback yet to the neckline, but that looks quite decent actually. But I mean, overall, I'm still quite bearish and think that after, we saw a strong update, obviously earlier in the week in the indices, and
Turnaround Tuesday.
It turned around on Tuesday. We see it flatten off a little bit yesterday, but I still think there's room for a bit more downside. So I'm going to sell the CAC today, and I'm going to get in now at 43.36. Stop loss above that high there at 45.30, and I'm going to target a move down here, which is let's just say 3,800, which is 2.75 R.
Good luck.
If that works out.
Stevie, what was your thoughts on oil?
I think lower. I think it was sort of capped yesterday that the inventories came out.
Lovely.
It sort of perked up a little bit, but coming off now.
Just add weight.
You look at the dollar CAD.
Yeah. I'm going to do exactly what I said not to do in the video 2 days ago.
Sometimes that does work.
Right. So dollar index. Joe was unlucky yesterday. This was our call in the morning. It was a tight stop placement, and we're moving lower. This is the confluence area down here, around about 100. So got a little bit more to go. Euro dollar. Again, confluence area just breaking up from previous swing high from last night. Hoping that this will cap buying. This is what I said not to do. Previous swing high, but I think the Gartley's moving lower to here, so we did actually get short this morning about 119.34, I think.
Yeah.
And then dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss is not looking as dollar bullish, and I think we've got a lot more room to move to the downside before we get a correction higher, which should mean that we get a move lower in Euro Swiss and Sterling Swiss this morning. Dollar yen, we broke the wedge formation that we talked about yesterday. Got a measured move down here, 109.33. But the one I want to look at, and this is the one that I said we shouldn't be doing, is a counter trend trade in dollar CAD. So looking for
trading that CD leg, are you?
Yes,
right.
Exactly. Right. But the reason I'm doing that, and I have got reasons, is because we've got a 13 count here, two 13 counts, DMARC, and I've also got bespoke support here at 142.12. So I'm making excuses. So yes, I'm going counter trend trade on this one. So
nice
to get long around about 142.10. Like I said, the target area is about 148.05. I can probably tighten that up a bit as well. So about nearly 8 R, whether or not we get it today, but I like it because I favour the oil sell-off as well, which Steve is talking about. So
Yeah,
I think that dollar's got a little bit more to go, but I think dip buying around here adds value.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's sort of counter trend, but it depends obviously the time frame you're looking at. If you're looking at a longer term time frame, it's not counter trend, is it? It's with the longer term trend.
I mean,
So
on the
on the shorter term,
these
look,
whoppers.
I know they're mental, aren't they? Look at that.
That was when we tried to buy it a long time ago. I mean, it hit an ABCD formation target, or its flag breakout level.
Yeah, you got that breakaway gap. Look at that.
It's,
I mean, that was over the weekend, that move, wasn't it?
Yeah, just there.
I mean, wow. So yeah, it's dollars the sort of like the man at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. But I think we might. I mean, in the long term, I think the dollar could still push higher.
Yeah.
So
Starting to believe that now.
Yeah.
Have you got dollar index chart on there?
This is it. Yeah. Hold
yeah.
on
Go on to like a monthly one on that.
This is the monthly, I believe.
I mean, you just bring it right in as well. Look, so not sort of 61.8%, potentially 78.6%, 110.
Yeah. I mean this month, obviously with volatility, has been. I mean, look at the spread.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, it looks like we're picking up to like the 2015 sort of ranges.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether or not it'll just tip that previous high.
Yeah.
Get a few stops out and then move again to the downside. I think long term, I think that's only a corrective formation, but considering it's a monthly chart, time frame breakdowns.
Yeah.
Considering it's a monthly chart, I think there's still scope for a little bit move higher.
Definitely.
So that's me.
Nicely done. So news-wise, anybody got anything to add before I reel off our?
No.
No, just like really. On the oil news that sort of from Canada, the Caribbean, the Baltic, Singapore, all tanks around the world are filling fast, despite a 50 to 100% jump in lease costs. So the cost to lease anywhere to store oil is gone up. Oil companies and traders scramble to park unwanted crude and refined products. So we're going to have this huge build-up, which keeps obviously the pressure on oil price.
Yeah, and squeezing out some of the bigger players in the industry.
Yeah.
Going to get some bankruptcies there, I'd have thought.
And all dogs have been fostered in New York State.
Oh, that's sweet. What was it? Is there loads running around?
There was loads of mongrels out there, unhomed.
and dogs.
And they've all been grabbed because people want to go for walks, don't they?
They haven't got lockdown yet in these states, have they? Have they in New York, but not?
Yeah, they have in New York.
State by state basis. Yeah. I saw there was a huge jump in yesterday in the US numbers, over 10,000 cases on the day, and the death toll rose to 737 from 544. Obviously, a lot of concern there and increased nerves about what's happening in the States. If you look at some of the charts that are doing the rounds, their trajectory is now looking pretty sharp. So I think we could see them being by far the worst overall, which isn't very nice at all. Obviously, to combat that, they're doing all they can on a fiscal front. We've got this $2 trillion support package, which has been passed and it's likely to be voted on Friday and then signed immediately after by President Trump. Did you see the video doing around yesterday about the guy in the Excel Centre?
Yeah.
It's ginormous, that place, isn't it?
A kilometre long. Just giving us a bit of a clue about how bad things could potentially get, I guess.
Yeah.
So very scary. So obviously stay indoors if you can. Anything else? We've got Bank of England today, haven't we? I mean, they've shot their load already with regards to interest rates. So I guess there could be some potential supportive measures of stimulus announced or additional, or just saying that they've got powers to do more. But I don't think we're expecting anything from that particularly.
I think the reason that we've seen a bit of a move higher in the dollar, or I should say a move lower in other currency pairs this morning, was because was it a downgrade? I'm not quite sure.
One of the ratings agencies.
Ratings agencies, negative outlook for France, Italy, and Spain banking system.
Oh, thanks for that. That's stating the obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, but just to put it out there, it's.
We've got US GDP at 12:30 today. I think that's going to see a bit of a dent in it, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, I don't think sort of like you need to pay particular attention to the numbers really at the moment. It's sort of like a little bit further down the line. We'll be looking at those more closely.
Yeah.
To see what the longer term impact is.
I think everybody's concentrating on the other numbers, aren't they?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like say the 2 trillion stimulus package. If you look at the Dow price action and the S&P price action, hasn't really worked again in terms of reinstalling the confidence into the equity markets.
Absolutely not. I mean, trying to pick stocks at the minute is impossible, especially when the VIX is as high as it is. It's just totally uninvestable. If you're a risk, looking for good risk reward, there isn't any because the ranges are so big. You can't put any stops below recent lows or target anything higher on the upside because it's just so poor. So, I mean, I've not looked at really any single stock analysis at all, just because it's fairly impossible at the minute. Yeah. I'm getting messages left, right, and centre. People saying, "Oh, they feel they're missing out," but what can I do? There isn't. I don't think there's any. The risk reward is just so bad.
Yeah. It's definitely a time to sort of like be patient.
Cash is king anyway at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's people keen to jump in on these things. I think I saw on Twitter yesterday. Google searches or Google Trends.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this now, see if I can find it. Basically, there was a big spike in how to buy stocks. So that suggests that there's a load of new money coming to the market that don't know what they're doing.
That suggests it's going to go a hell of a lot lower.
Exactly that, yeah. So let's have a look. Let's see if I can share this. So just on the Google Trends website, this is over the past 12 months. Let's see if I can do it over the past 30 days. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Buy stocks.
Yeah, do it over like 2 months. Yeah.
That's so if people are, or how to buy stocks, that means they've never bought a stock in the past if they're asking that question. So that's a hell of a lot of new money coming to the market there that doesn't know what it's doing. And if, that's not what you see at the bottom. So this could be, we could be in for a lot longer.
Is that just US, Hawaii, North Dakota, it says down there? Yeah, let's have a look. New Jersey, California.
Worldwide, the trends are still sort of fairly similar.
Ginormous in
United States and Canada leading the way.
Yeah, I must admit, a pal of mine asked me the other day about it. He said his sister's looking to buy some.
Oh God!
That's a sort of like a guise for I'm looking to buy some, but I don't want to admit it.
Singapore, right up there on how to buy stocks. Yeah, so be careful. Don't be in a rush to buy stocks. You'll get plenty of opportunities, I think, in the future. Just wait for this all to settle down a bit.
I like that chart that you showed me the other day, the comparison with the 1929 crash.
Yeah, Ian showed that yesterday, yeah.
And
so you get a vicious bounce back and then just a gradual selling off.
Yeah, over a prolonged period. So I think that seems to be where we're heading at the moment.
Yeah, quite possibly. As you said yesterday, you can't just restart an economy. There's going to be a lot of mistrust, or companies worried about bringing new work staff or, people on to cover what they've had to lay off. So it's going to take a long time to fix, I think.
Yeah, and we're doing some presentations today.
Yeah, more webinars. I'm doing one on position sizing and a bit of risk management.
I'm doing support and resistance.
Lovely. Ian, what are you looking at, mate?
Not a clue.
Okay, we'll have something for you at 3:00 with Ian Coleman.
So I'm going to do, what am I doing, 10:30?
Yeah, if you're all right with that.
Yeah, 10:30 for me. What are you doing, Joe?
12:30 or 1 o'clock.
12:30, yeah.
I'll do three bells again.
Okay.
Lovely. All right.
Cool. All right, gents, thanks for that. We'll catch you all later.
Enjoy.
Cheers.
Bye.